Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. Oh, there's some weird noise. Let's try again. Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back to the Talk Podcast. So, we are going to watch this clip together. I was scrolling on YouTube, and there was actually another YouTuber who brought up this topic that there was this woman, and she's talking about how she ended up broke. And so I clicked on his video. He's about to review it. Sorry, guys. He was about to review it, and then I thought, why not just look for the original and let's see? Because I'm thinking to myself, remember, I just reacted to um, what is it called, the financial audit. Gosh, that was slow. The financial audit. I just reacted to it. I think it's such a great show. Like, it's such a great podcast. It's not only entertaining, but it serves a purpose, which is to help people hopefully get better with their finance. And as I said, definitely entertaining. And I took out the clip because I found that it was a great example when it comes to, kind of my topics, the relationships, and it was a bit of gossip. Now today, there's another story of someone ending up broke after, I don't know, probably leaving the relationship. What is going on? What is up with the situations that people are in relationships, married or long-term relationships, and then mostly the women choose to leave and then they end up broke, or they start cheating and then they end up broke. What's going on?
And this is hard. My name is Elle, and I burned through my savings of about $80,000. I burned through my entire 401k. I am 39 years old, and I am currently living in my boyfriend's parents' house, and I'm starting a
Wow, that is tough. I was thinking like my parents' house. I just even ignored the fact 39, but I was thinking my parents' house, but her boyfriend's parents' house. Good for them that they have such a great relationship, but isn't that somewhat cringe?
over. This is video number one. I'm creating a YouTube channel on my personal finance journey from the bottom, hopefully all the way up to the top. And the reason why I'm making these videos now and going forward is because I've watched.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I want to do this not only to entertain, but also I'm hoping that we all can learn something from her story, the choices that she makes. So hopefully that she made. So hopefully people just think twice. But I just find it so interesting how over the years now it has become such a normal thing, such a trend to come out in public, take your phone. I mean, everyone has had bad finance. Maybe not everyone, but I guess a lot of people can relate to it in some way, shape, or form, smaller or bigger. So that's not the thing about it. But this coming out, sometimes you would see women picking their phones and just coming up with whatever kind of story and crying and sharing the most intimate details in their private life, and basically selling, oh my god, selling the victim and all these things that happened. I don't know what's going to happen now. I'm sorry that we're speaking on this with her clip, but it is what it is. It's a general opinion that I have, that I've just noticed. um, Basically just to capitalize off of it, you share your victim story, mostly situations that you actively chose to put yourself in. You sell the story to the world. Sometimes you cry and all that good stuff. Then you come back and then you're mad about the fact that people are commenting on it or whatever. And at the same time, you're hoping that someone is going to fund it, or some kind of gain is going to pop out of it. And then you capitalize off that story, but you will not dare anyone to talk about it. That is so mind blowing, isn't it?
Tons and tons of videos and podcasts on personal finance journeys with couples, with individuals, and very rarely do I see somebody that I can actually relate to. So my hope is that there's at least one person that I can reach who might be able to relate to me. So I'm on a personal finance journey to get out of debt and rebuild my investment accounts and my savings account. How I got here. I was in a relationship for 10 years with a partner who was very comfortable financially. And in the beginning, everything was separate, and I paid for my own stuff, and I was
So she's 39 today. She was in a relationship for 10 years, okay? Let's just follow along the details.
More careful with my money. But as time went on and we started to combine everything, I didn't honestly have to care about budgeting or money or anything. Spending was allowed and encouraged. I did have my own job, but
What does that mean as we went on and started combining everything? To be honest, I think if people are on good terms and want to share, that's a good idea, right? Like my first thought wouldn't be, oh my God, such a bad thing to do. But I'm thinking, what does that mean? You guys weren't married. You like he didn't marry you, or what happened? Like he was fun. I don't know. Let's listen. I'm just doing too much.
I was making about $110,000 to $20,000 a year, and I am ashamed to say, aside from what went into my 401k, I
Right.
couldn't tell you where any of that money went.
She was really making good money. Let's go back. I'm so sorry for interrupting. Haven't done this in a few days now, so I'm not really. I don't know. Just random
$20,000 a year,
podcast episode.
and I am ashamed to say, aside from what went into my 401k, I couldn't tell you where any of that money went. It mostly went to beauty products, clothing, and shoes. And I paid for the groceries in the house, but he pretty much carried everything else. And so for years and years, I just kept spending more and more money. So
I'm sorry. It was so unnecessary. I paid for the groceries in the house was so unnecessary. Look, good for you. You're making good money and a bit over 100K a year. That is definitely good money. That is far above the average wherever you live in most cases. So she said she started spending the money on makeup and beauty products and all these fancy things. And to be honest, that is something other podcasters have talked about this. And I'm so glad that people are sharing more and more awareness to this, especially for younger girls. There is quite an insanity going on when it comes to beauty products and especially like makeup products. I do not understand it. When we were younger, of course, you would like to try and do your makeup and play around with it, but nowadays it's just crazy how much of the same things young women think they need to have to kind of look good. It's just crazy. People are just buying and buying and buying. I know how quick and easy it is to buy. Like my pet peeve is coffee and just maybe snacking here and there. But I get it. Who doesn't understand it? But people really need to be aware because it happens so quick and your money just flies off. You don't know where it is. You just don't know where it is.
So
And even with the groceries or eating out, come on, like you're not eating that much. You're just spending it on nonsense.
that was the only benefit, honestly, to this relationship. So after 10 years, I decided to call it quits.
Editing out here.
And shoes. And I paid for the groceries in the house, but he pretty much carried everything else. And so for years and years, I just kept spending more and more money. So that was the only benefit, honestly, to this relationship. So after 10 years, I decided to call it quits.
Editing out here. Wait a minute. That must be so bad to hear. If I understood correctly, she was in this relationship 10 years. He's very comfortable with money. At some point they started, adding the money together, but most of the things she's covering the groceries. Basically, she's just capable of spending her money on the things that only she wants to spend the money on. So, I guess best case scenario for you, but to say like that is the only thing that relationship was good for. You set in that relationship for 10 years. Wow, that must be so. I don't know who that person is. I think to me it would be so painful to hear. You just set in a relationship for 10 years so you can spend money on shoes and makeup, and we're talking about a human being, and that's the only thing that relationship was good for. Lucky I went out of that. Like, are you right in your mind? Imagine, okay, this is the same guy's parents that she's now living at. That would be so insane.